45. Brown, 45. Hot, 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 hot.
Welcome back to the first episode of Ball and Chain 2024. Wow.
Man.
I hope you all had a great off season. I know Mr. Cooperona, my co-host The Chain, certainly did. Is that true, Cooper?
I would say so. It flew by, but hey, we're back in the two best seats in the house, and all of our listeners got the best seat in their house. So I'm excited to get into it.
I agree. They get to listen to not one champion, but two champions. We're in a 12-man league. I don't know if you knew that because we're over here collecting all the titles. Maybe that'll change this year. I don't think it will.
As many of you know, got a few guys together in person in Denver, Colorado, home to the residing league champion this past weekend for an in-person draft, some shenanigans, some hooligan activities, all that fun stuff. But Brian, the months and months, weeks and weeks, or in some cases minutes and minutes of prep for the draft have come and gone. We've gone through all 14 or so rounds. Everyone's got their teams picked out. And let me say, there were some shocks, surprises, scandals even on draft day. And I'm excited to get into it. I think really we need to talk through some of the biggest steals, maybe players that were taken later than their value suggests. Some of the biggest blunders, players taken way too early, too overvalued. I think a lot of recency bias within some of these picks. Do you want to start at the steals or the blunders?
I think I'd rather start at the booms. We're going to start at the booms. A guy that is it. I'm not really going to be so much talking about him as I am going to be talking about his quarterback. Maybe you can guess who it already is because I've been talking about him. Gardner Minshew's new number one wide receiver, Davante Adams. I almost don't even want to say him by name because it's more so Gardner Minshew's number one wide receiver. Because Gardner Minshew is a starting quarterback in this league. Davante Adams has had some absolute bums in there at quarterback. He's got Aiden O'Connell. Jimmy Garoppolo, God rest his soul, got cut this week. Poor guy. He's a good quarterback, and he's gonna feed him the ball.
I've got a few here that really stand out to me. I'm going to start with the Fry Hogs taking Scary Terry at the 6'4". I mean, that's a true wide receiver one who now has a promising young quarterback throwing to him. He's got a strong running core between Brian Robinson Jr. and Austin Eckler. Regardless of his production, to get a true wide receiver one in terms of depth charts in the 6th round is pretty much unheard of. I think one of the best value picks there. I mean, there was an audible good shot, good pick from the league when Caden took him there in the 6th. So I think that one's going to shake out well.
Also, some audible groans from you throughout the night. I think I heard three or four expletives being thrown across the table there. So we'll see how. I'd love to see how you think your draft went. But we'll get there. It's James Cook.
Where's the
Year
sauce?
On the Swifties. The Swifties brought him back in. They liked what they saw when they trotted him out there last year. I tried to trade for him a couple times. Didn't work out.
I got one more. I'm shocked that I'm pulling out a boom from the 10th round of the draft.
10th round boom? Late round boom?
That's what I'm doing from the Goobers in their pick for Jerome Ford in the 10th round.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
What a team.
Goobers had a hot draft.
Brian, you're very knowledgeable when it comes to all things football, fantasy football.
You could have stopped right after you're very knowledgeable.
Well, I need to specify because it's the kind of guy I am.
We all know.
Do you have any idea who the second running back on the Cleveland Browns depth chart is?
Oh, dear. I don't even know. It's not Kareem Hunt anymore.
It's Pierre Strong Jr.
Oh, great running back. I almost picked him up.
And if you're feeling dejected for not knowing that, he is currently rostered in 0.7% of ESPN leagues.
Cooper, that's not being nice. Let's be a little bit hateful, and let's get on to those boofs. My pick, it's a running back for the Vikings. You know who it is? It's Aaron Jones, and he's currently sitting in Matt's flex spot.
Matt loves a running back in the flex spot.
Ew. And that tells you everything you need to know about Mr. Matt Fannin of what is previously known as Mommy's Milkers Unhampered Undies, if you'll remember from the beginning of last season.
Oh, my goodness. I forgot about all the
I
breasts.
rewatched it. What a horrible nickname. We had a Matthew Fannin hate segment. We might have to bring that back. Aaron Jones missed 7 games last year. He never played more than 5 games in a row. The guy's just not consistent. He's not going to play. He's not
He's
good.
a walking hospital room.
My next boof is Calvin Ridley. And I know you're high on Calvin Ridley. I think he's boofing. What you never want to do is take a mid-wide receiver in a bad offense. And that is exactly what this is. Titans' offensive line sucks. Will Levis
has a cannon.
I'm sure he does. So does Joe Milton, but he's not a good quarterback. Calvin Ridley, he's sharing with Hopkins, and they brought in Tyler Boyd. Everybody loves Tyler Boyd. Come on, how can you not love Tyler Boyd? It's not going to work out.
But there is one that I cannot allow myself to not call out.
Oh, my goodness.
I really tried to make a clever pun here with the why was 6 afraid of 7 joke. And then it goes, because of Kyle's 8, 9, and 10 round drafts.
Oh, it's hilarious. Continue.
I don't know what the Swifties are doing. It's a tale of 2 swords. A tale of 2 cities. I don't know what the analogy there is. It's the Homer Simpson meme where he looks great from the front and he's got all of his flab tied up behind his back.
Yeah, it's getting put up there for sure.
Is because Justin Tucker, a kicker, was taken in the 8th round.
8th round, first actual bench spot. What would have been your bench spot? Ooh.
Not to be outdone, he picks up Aaron Rodgers in the 9th. He takes the Browns defense in the 10th. I don't get it.
It's a positional advantage, to quote our commissioner. Boo, by the way. I don't agree about that at all.
All right. I rest my case on boofs and booms for the draft. Let's move on.
As do I. We're going to move on to our way too early end of season predictions, as we always do. We're going to hand out all the awards very prematurely, something Matt Fannin knows a lot about. The champ, Cooper, who do you have winning the league?
We're starting with the champ?
We're starting with the champ. We're not going to... You want to start with the champ? Let's start with the champ.
Okay.
We're going to go with the champ. I'd love to hear who you got.
Knowing a manager is going to stick with their team throughout the year and continually push the envelope, be scouring the waiver wires, and know that if they've got a tough week ahead, they need to bounce back quickly. And someone who I think can do that better than almost anybody in our league is Brett of LeBron's Third Leg.
Wow.
They've sniffed at it a couple of times, and I think this past weekend especially, I saw a newfound sense of maturity in that manager. I think just that level of perspective that he's gained, some lessons learned from runs ended a little bit too early in years past. I think he's got it in him.
Respectable pick. It's going to be a popular pick. I think Vegas currently has him as co-favorites with another one.
2. The Swifties are at 1. I can believe it.
Hammering the under on the Swifties. My champ, you talked about him earlier. You glossed right over it. Maybe you just don't think about it so much. It's the Goobers. Another manager who has been absolutely sniffing the end of the road. A manager that is committed. A manager that has also placed second place in one of the years by just centimeters. He was away from a championship. And I think it's been haunting him to this day. He's got Jerome Ford. I think Anthony Richardson is going to boom. And Evan Ingram. Boy, do I love Evan Ingram. He is such a great tight end. I love Evan Ingram. I'm following that up immediately with my loser. Guess who it is? I wanted to go to the commissioner, but I will not because I am honest. And I will not do that.
Commissioner's got a good-looking team.
He's got an all right looking team. He'll be active enough to where the point where he won't be losing the league. I think he'll be fine. The loser, someone who narrowly avoided losing last year, in Gabe we trust. It is Logan Bergeron. He's got Gabe.
He does.
I told him not to take him. He will pay the price. He's got Gabe. He's got Ramondre. I think Pickens is a bit of a bum. Travis Kelce, I hate that guy. He's got Tony Pollard in his flex right now. Right now, he's got Tony Pollard in his flex.
That he does.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I know he'll stay active. He's open to trades, but I just think it's all going to crumble apart. I think his team is going to crumble.
I couldn't disagree more, Brian. I think he's learned a lot from last season.
You think so?
I think the team is solid. I'm going to have to push back a little bit on my loser for the league this year.
I'd love to hear.
It's going to have to be Matt Fannin of Kirkland Signature.
Tell me why.
I see no level of commitment from Matt Fannin.
Mm-hmm.
He was swimming in a lake at draft time. I don't care whose birthday it was. He wasn't eating cake with grandma. He was swimming in a lake. We had league mates who were in Norway. We had league mates who were hiking the Oregon Trail, and they were able to show up on a video call, no less, and we couldn't get the guy sitting in suburban Michigan to hop on and be a part of the draft. I would be thrilled if he proves me wrong and rights this ship to put some effort into the league. But until I see that, I don't care if he got all 12 picks of the first round. I don't trust him to be able to take a team to the playoffs, let alone win a game in the loser's bracket.
Boy, I said we should bring back the Matt Fannin hate segment, and it looks like we're doing it this episode because my most disappointing team, one of our awards last year, is the Kirkland Signature for those exact reasons. Additionally to the whole lake swimming thing, he told me before the draft, Brian, you better be doing ball and chain because I just don't know if I'm going to pay attention otherwise. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Not the first day.
No heart. There was a time when he had Maddie's midweek matchup as its own standalone program. One of the highest rated programs in the history of sports programming.
That is. I used to edit for that show to get my start for this show. And it's been shut down. It has been shut down. Awful. Absolutely awful. Cooper, who's your most disappointing team?
Yeah, I'm going to keep this one short because it really goes off of one of the major call-outs I had from the booths of the draft. It's the Swifties.
The Swifties. Now, I would like to clarify. There's a difference between losing and being the most disappointing. Maybe if you're disappointing,
precisely,
you've got some expectations.
I am already disappointed in the Swifties because of the cliff, the ravine that is that last starter to the first bench spot.
Oh, absolutely.
But I'm disappointed after such a strong start to the draft. Mm-hmm. Where the team looks now. I think he can turn it around. I would like to see him turn it around.
I'd love to see it.
But it's my biggest disappointment as of now.
The Swifties are a playoff team of the first year. He made the playoffs. He's got just as many wins as our commissioner, James DeCamp. Just as many. What is that? And it's both 0. My coach of the year. Now, to be the coach of the year, you got to be active. You got to be making trades. You have to be actively participating. And you have to be winning, most importantly, with those players. We'll get to my coaching metric. It will tie all that in and make it easier to digest later in the season. We've added more numbers. We've added equations. My coach of the year is someone who I think is going to do all those things. It's the Florida man. I think the Florida man is going to come. He's been a high contender the past few years. He's always very active. I think creating that wheel of punishment is really going to get him into this. And plus, I think he's going to have to trade some of his players because I don't think they're all that good.
Brian, my coach of the year
is
John Daly of
J. Dongus.
What is currently Waddle House. I would hope and expect to see a name change out of him and several other league managers who no longer have their team's namesake. The Swifties.
True.
I was about to say in Gabe we trust, but we're good on that one.
Shout out. Back. Don't worry, he's back.
Kirkland Signature, who just dropped.
He just dropped him?
Did he not? Is that not from the waivers yesterday? Yeah, he picked up Goff and dropped Kirko Chains yesterday.
That's insane. Dropping your namesake and picking up a guy that nobody else bid on for $25. Real nice. God, we're hammering.
Anyways,
we're hammering him.
back to JD.
Back to him.
His commitment to the league has never been clearer. I mean, he finished dead last in his first season in the league last year.
He did.
He did his beer mile, no questions asked, committed to it, live streamed it. He took the draft from work this past week. Meanwhile, Matt Fannon's out swimming in a lake.
Yeah, very impressive.
On top of that, I think he's got a really consistent team, one with a very high floor, albeit a little bit lower ceiling
I agree.
I would like to see for a playoff run.
I think the league wants to see the Dongus in the playoffs.
I would agree.
And I think he's ready.
We're going to get into our matchup of the week. And in fact, we've got a triple header matchup of the week because we have such incredible games going on here in week one. For the sake of time, I am going to ask for zero elaboration. I'm going to give you two teams, and you're going to tell me who the winner is.
I'll tell you exactly who the winner is of those teams, just like you asked for.
Kirkland Signature versus the Bryant football team.
I'm getting the win there. Without Jamar Chase, I'm getting the win.
I would agree with that. Bryant football team often comes out of the gate hot to start the season.
5-0, 6-0, no big deal.
MIC Child Killers versus the Waddle House.
Wow. No. I think the Waddle House kills him. 142, 108.
Very close line on that one right now. It's plus 0.3 for MIC. I've got Waddle House winning as well. I think that team's got heart. We are seeing a coach in the year in the making. Waddle House. Final game, Tinglers versus the Fry Dogs.
God, 3 rivalry matchups. This maybe being the most heated rivalry of them all. I think it is a close match. I think it is a nail-biter to start off the season. And just like the Detroit Lions of last year, they come out and they punch the defending champs in the mouth, 128 to 126.
I've actually got the Fry Hogs. Apologies, I said Fry Dogs earlier. Not really sure where the name comes from.
That can be good. That can be good.
The Fry Hogs. I've got them winning as well. They've got something to prove. The Tinglers historically have not had very strong starts to the season. I think this is Caden's chance. I think when we get back around to the real rivalry week at the end of the season, game over.
Cooper, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Why don't we just end the show here? Wait a minute. We always do a bonus segment. Here it is. Here's the bonus segment. Get excited. Get excited. It is week one. It is just so good to be back here. I think we are just going to do a classic bonus segment, something that got us here, something that gave us the fame that we have now, and I think we're just going to do a draft.
Oh, boy. Okay.
But just like the first day of school, I want you to bring yourself back to what's going in your lunchbox. And we're going to do a draft of lunch items, things to bring in your lunchbox. Maybe something your mom would anything you'd see. Don't be crazy and say a roast beef sandwich from Arby's, because that's not going to be it. Your mom's not going to pack you that. Some stuff you would see at the lunchroom table. Stuff that has the highest trade value.
Man, I'm going to let you draft first here.
You want me to go first?
I want you to go first.
I'm going to take the Cosmic Brownie 101. Cosmic Brownie is legendary.
Talk about an overvalued player.
Doesn't matter. The trade value has never been higher. Never been higher.
Have you had a Cosmic Brownie in the last 5 years?
I haven't, but I also haven't been to an elementary school in the last 5 years.
They don't live up. They don't live up.
It doesn't matter. The Cosmic Brownie has the highest trade value out of any item. Your turn.
I'm not looking to trade away my best players. I'm looking to develop them, make them star players on a team. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
There's so many good ones to choose from. It's going to be a controversial take. I fully acknowledge this. I'm going to go little cup of mandarin oranges.
What the are you doing taking mandarin oranges at the one spot? I would take pears over mandarin oranges.
Shut your mouth. You're just wrong. I'm sorry you don't have a developed palate.
No, absolutely not. I cannot believe that. Wow, that's absolutely ridiculous. In my 2 spot, I'm going to take the fruit by the foot. The fruit by the foot it's an elementary school classic.
Brother, you're eating processed junk. I've got fresh fruit.
What do you think this is? I'm not giving you these are the best items. These are the best items. I'm not giving you a balanced lunch. Absolutely not.
Round 2, it's easy. It's a string cheese. hours and hours of entertainment on that thing.
Your draft is certainly something. You've got a prison food draft.
Are we drafting?
Yeah, we're gonna do 5. Next up, I'm not gonna muck around. I can't believe I got him in the 3rd, but I'm gonna take the PB&J. The PB&J in the 3rd it's a steal for the 3rd round.
I didn't know we were doing main courses.
It's a lunch. What do you think's going on? You're lost. You've been lost this whole draft. My lunchbox, I was gonna say Thomas the Tank Engine, but I don't like Thomas the Tank Engine.
This is a homemade PB&J.
Yes, with Gam's Jam. Hi, Grandma, if you're watching.
So I couldn't take an Uncrustable in the 3rd. Are those different players or are those the same player?
It's a PB&J. It would go against.
I don't.
It's a dirty pick.
I won't take it. 3rd round. I've got my string cheese. I've got my mandarin oranges.
That's all you need. I'll let you take another flavor of string cheese if you'd like. The cheddar.
I'm gonna take. I don't know what these things are called. Yeah.
What?
With my 3rd pick, I'm gonna take Nutty Buddies.
A Nutty Buddy?
A Nutty Buddy?
You mean a Nutter Butter?
You'll know him when you see him. No, I mean a Nutty Buddy.
Oh, you mean the Little Debbie things?
Yeah.
Sure.
Because you have those in your lunchbox with the ice pack, so they're kind of cold. Nothing better.
I guess so. I guess that's pretty good. God, where do I go next with this? Do I want to build a balanced? I do. In fact, you know what I'm going to pick next? I'm picking the Capri Sun. I bet you forgot about liquids, huh?
Awful pick. Because my 4th round pick is those drinks with the little, they're like plastic and the cap looks like this.
Kool-Aid Jammer?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's a good pick, but I don't think it beats the Capri Sun at lunchtime.
Capri Suns are lame.
If I could reach across this screen and slap you in the face, I absolutely would.
I said what I said.
I know. I can't believe it. I know Caden is at home sipping on a Capri Sun right now. And he just said, what? What did he say? That was it. God, well, who am I taking next here? Do I get a vegetable?
Final pick?
Yeah. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to take some grapes. You got to get a fruit in there. Grapes are easy to pack.
I do like grapes.
They're nice, easy to munch on. Your friends might reach in there and steal some grapes, but that's all right. Holy shit, I'm blowing you out of the water.
It's not even close.
I am aware.
In favor of my team. I got to finish strong here. We've got a lot of great supporting cast in the lunchbox right now.
Grape.
The handwritten note from mom that helps you when you're a little scared at lunchtime.
Probably because you got beat up at lunchtime every day because you got such lame food in your lunchbox. I cannot believe it. It's a sentimental pick. I really thought you were going to go with the napkin just to make sure you're all clean. I can't believe it. All right, well, comment down below whoever won the draft here. I think, frankly, it's not even close. It's going to be about 10,000 to 2 there. You and your mom are the only people that are going to be voting for your lunch. All right, and that does it.
Episode 1 in the books
of Ball and Chain. Boy, does it feel good to be back. Cooper, how does it feel for you, huh? Was it good for you?
It's been wonderful.
We both wish you all luck throughout the year, and we'll be seeing you next week in episode 2.
Ball and Chain out.
Have a good evening.
Shahid.
Oh. Who? Shahid?
Rashid Shahid.
I love
Apologies to Mr. Shahid.
That is a Garrett Jefferson. That's a Garrett Jeffersonism right there.
We got to have one.